Squatchers Lounge podcast. David and Reverend Jeff talk about the Bigfoot of Mexico, because that's a thing. No, really it is. Mexico's part of the Americas. Come on. We also got some good news for you, and some mediocre news for you, and some pretty crappy news for you. I actually have no idea, because I've contributed like nothing this week. And now I turn it over to the man who's doing all the work, just hoping for the happy ending. The Reverend Jeff Kelly.
I am the host of this mess, the Reverend Jeff Kelly, and over there is my co-host, the Dr. David Batdorf, Esquire. That's right. We're going to be talking about the sesamite from Central America. Not exactly Mexico, but close enough. Hey, like G.I. Jose says, you almost knew.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it actually is, and it's going to be a fun topic. And the news is actually pretty decent this week for being a light week. I know some of you guys bitch and moan out there that we talk too much about the news, so you'll be happy this week. It's a little bit of a light week. Yes! Anyhow,
Hooray!
Disclosed TV starts out with tensions running high at Spanish ski resort after yeti creature is spotted. That's right. Apparently, on February 7th, somebody in a white yeti costume got caught running across the ski slope by people with cameras. There's been a whole bunch of talk about this thing. It's on several of the websites out there. I think personally it's a hoax to bring people to the ski resort looking for the yeti. What are you thinking, David?
Every single image that I've seen of this thing just reeks of person in a big padded suit, and especially the mannerisms. It's like, wow, this is like straight out of oh my goodness, what's his name? The Ivan Marks table for the actual movements of the creature. It's like
for Cripplefoot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A spokesman for the resort assured visitors that they are safe, but conceded that a search of the area was conducted after a reported yeti sighting. Skeptics have suggested a number of possibilities for the creature in the film, specifically a bear or a hoax. But the witness insists that there was no trickery at work and that the encounter was a genuine sighting. I mean, I'm not doubting
possibly
that this guy
a Spanish polar bear. Like, it's not a bear. Stop it with it's a bear. Like, it's not a Spanish polar bear.
It's either a dude in a suit or it's a yeti. One or the other, 50-50 chance. You decide. How about that?
Yeah. There we go.
So check it out. Disclosed TV is where I got my attention on this one because the other one was playing weird crap in my ears that I didn't like. All right. ScienceDaily.com kicks it off with orangutans, lethal aggression between females. First report of male-female alliances in deadly fight between female individuals. Researchers for the first time witnessed the death of a female orangutan at the hands of another female. Even more extraordinarily is the perpetrator recruited a male orangutan as a hired gun to help her corner and attack the victim. Before this observation, lethal fights between females had never actually been observed by orangutans, and we're talking about orangutans in the wild. This is not orangutans in the zoo. Orangutans in the zoo are not having chimp dome or orangutan dome. Orangutans in one leaves. This is wild orangutan fights, female on female. They're just like to the death, bro.
It's actually really crazy, and I guess the more amazing thing, like, you know, a fight to the death between apes, you know, is not that uncommon, but orangutans are notoriously like
this is straight up horror story stuff.
Well, yeah, but they're not gregarious. They don't live in groups. They don't work together. They're very solitary creatures. So it's amazing that this other female enlisted another, you know, or even thought to enlist a male to help her, you know.
I think we've heard this story before. Hey, Adam, I ate this apple, so here, take a bite, bitch. But yeah,
I dare you.
I digress. Oh, it was really good too. Yeah, you learn a lot of shit when you eat off this apple. So here, take a bite real quick because I screwed up.
Anyhow, look, bitch, that's a pomegranate. Get over it.
Yeah, exactly. Check it out. Science Daily's got the orangutan story in house. This is the one that I like. SLO man breaks mountain lion's neck, or does he?
Or does he? That's what got me. It was like or does he?
Well, the original story said that that didn't have, or does he? This has actually been updated since I pulled the original story. The original article says, and it's right here, a St. Louis man and former NCAA wrestler fought off a mountain lion that attacked him Saturday evening near a canyon hiking trail. The mountain lion died in the struggle. Robin Olson was hiking and his son around 5:30 p.m. They wandered off the trail and came in contact with the mountain lion. Olson told his son to run away. Olson tried to avoid the mountain lion, but the animal lunged at him and started attacking. The former wrestler grabbed the mountain lion's neck, held on to the cat's neck as it was scratching him. Olson said, "Not was he saying this from a hospital bed with shredded arms and legs bleeding to death? If not, there's a problem." During the struggle, Olson broke the mountain lion's neck, killing it instantly. Well, breaking a neck doesn't really normally kill an animal. It kind of just renders it a vegetable, but okay. He left it with numerous scratches. Has anybody actually ever seen a mountain lion claw attack? I mean, I'm not going to get all gruesome on the show and show it to you. Google it. Just Google it, okay?
Yeah.
You're not getting away.
Scratches.
Yeah, scratches. This isn't House Kitty, okay? This mountain lion has claws that retract that are between 1.5 inches and 3 inches long, strong enough to rip apart bone. Crush just skulls.
Think about think about the last time you got hooked by your kitty at home, and imagine that blown up to the size of not just walking away from that one. I'm sorry.
So
by the way, and they're not scratches. This cat would not be scratching you. It would just puncture and tear.
Yeah.
Like and not even tear. Like it wouldn't tear very far, but it would gouge in and just open up the hole just a little bit. Just give you a good tug on that meat. That's not what. You don't walk away from that without
that nail
pictures.
would sink all the way down to the bone before it would hook.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would tear out the tendons and the sinew and the meat and everything between your bone and wherever it was scratching you.
Until you broke the lion's neck.
Right. Squeeze tight, buddy. Anyhow, updated the mountain lion attack story determined to be a hoax.
Oh, really?
Of San Luis Obispo claimed he was attacked by a mountain lion Saturday afternoon while hiking. Upon further investigation, his claim has been determined to be a hoax. Well, there you go, folks. Guy lied about it and then swore to it, put it on the internet, and then the news ran with it. Imagine that.
Broke the animal's neck. So what they forget is that they have so much muscle and they don't have this big bulbous head on top like we do. Anyway, moving on.
And we usually don't do people by name, but this one, I just had
it's
to.
in the title.
I mean, Kelly Shaw, liar and hypocrite. From BigfootAnarchy.blogspot.com. There's this feud that goes on in the Bigfoot community. For you, those people out there that don't know anything about it, the Bigfoot community is a bunch of diaper-wearing, overbearing, self-important jackwagons. Truth. I was having a conversation with Midnight last night with Justin Smayhan. We were like, who in Bigfooting really has any credibility left? We couldn't come up with anyone. John Green, he's about the only dude, and he's like 94. Peter Burns, I don't know what credibility he has, but he's never really wrecked it, and he's like, 108. But outside of those two guys who are like ancient and really out of the game these days, who really isn't out there anymore, who isn't affiliated or directly involved with alien space pirates from Alabama, hybrid friggin' Bigfoot from portals in Johnson's Mystery Funhouse and Vortex? I don't know. But this clown here claims to be our number one Bigfooter, and he claimed to have taken a picture of a long-tailed marten in North Carolina. And he said, I took this picture by myself. I mean, there's the claim right here in black and white that he claimed that this was his picture. Later on to be found, he's full of shit. He stole the picture off of some image friggin' site and didn't think anybody would ever follow through to find out where it came from. So
nobody understands how Google Image works anymore, by the way.
It's fucking. It's
you can drop an image in there, and it will tell you all the places that image shows up on the interwebs.
I mean, who cares?
You should try that. Everybody should try that next time they're looking at a Bigfoot picture too.
It just amazes me who all these people who push themselves. I'm important. This is Kelly Shaw. This is the guy who was on the Bigfoot Captured with Dr. Meldrum talking about blob squatches from the Rocky Mountain Picture Horror Show or whatever the freak he's from these days. He goes all over the friggin' Northwest, man, telling Bigfoot stories and looking up ancient locations. That's fucking great. But when you do stupid shit like this, brother, you're gonna get called on it, and it makes you look like the jackwagon that you are. Blob squatches on TV, and now this crap. And you want to know why people make you look stupid? No, Kelly, I'm sorry, buddy. You make yourself look stupid. And remember, I'm not picking on these people. I'm just bringing their crap to light. These are their actions, not mine. Don't email me about it.
Ta-da.
Wow. Anyhow,
so I go out and take pictures of people's, take pictures of animals, and then I copyright them immediately. That's what I do.
Well, yeah, I blob squatch copyright everything right as soon as I take it because I'm the creator.
You can't put that out there because it's copyrighted and it's mine.
That's right, mother jumpers. Okay. On to good stuff, horrorandsociety.com. They're putting up the best indie horror film out there. And guess what? Valley of the Sasquatch made the list. OMG. I mean, our boy Doug Hudson at clonefx.com. That's KLONEFX.com. Dude, you didn't think about that at all. Anyhow, yeah, when you see it, it's easy, but when you're talking about it, it's crap. Also, zombiegnomes.com. Yeah, that's the right one. He's in there with Bone Tomahawk, man. That's like a top movie with friggin' Mr. Sally Fields.
Mr. Sally Fields.
That's right. People, trust me, if you don't get that, tell your parents I called somebody Mr. Sally Fields and they'll explain it to you. Deathgasm, Flesh for the Inferno, House of Horrors. I mean, not horrors, House of Horrors. That's right.
This one intrigues me.
I might have to look that one up, see if I can't get a copy or, maybe get a review copy to watch, and I'll do a review of it. Volumes of Blood. So you can go to horrorsociety.com/voting/best-indie-horror-film or look at your friggin' video and vote for yourself. I vote Valley of the Sasquatch because I'm not paid to, but I like those guys.
Yeah, no, we have the invested interest of our friends in the costuming, and nothing else says Sasquatch on this list, so obvious choice.
That's right, and the horror kills in Valley of the Sasquatch are so
Bone Tomahawk's pretty awesome.
Yeah, Bone Tomahawk is a pretty damn good movie. It's going to be a tough time, and I hope Valley of the Sasquatch picks it out. Better kills in Valley of the Sasquatch than there are in Bone Tomahawk. I will say that. Slightly better acting maybe in Bone Tomahawk, but they had a ringer. Mr. Sally Fields.
Mr. Sally Fields.
That's right. Hey, I sent this link to David right before the show or yesterday, whenever the hell I came across this thing. It was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Grail, Grayl, thegrail.com. It is a water bottle that you can purify like trail water in 15 seconds simply by pushing it through this filter. So you take the filter out, the inner filter core out, you put the water in the stupid the stupid watering cup, and then you push the filter inner core down through it, which fills the inner core water all the way up. You've got a quart of fresh drinking water, like right the F now.
Potable business. I mean, they even
got international. Like if you're going to Mexico and you don't want Montezuma's Revenge, I don't know why they say you get that from Mexico because it really sounds like it should be coming from Egypt. Either way, where the hell does Montezuma come from? I mean, I was looking at this, like it's probably not going to get your tiny microbes. So like Giardia is probably still. No, it will. Absolutely, it will. The trail filter will, as well as the travel purifier. The only one that won't get that is just the tap filter. It's just for your urban, everyday, take it out of your California brown water, hit tap over here and purify it and make it into drinking water, you'd be okay with it. But seriously, the trail filter gets all of those little things. It actually tells you here on the website, it's activated. I mean, 99.9% of bacteria, E. coli, salmonella, 99.94% of protozoa cysts, giardia, and
wow, giardia too. I didn't go quite that far, but that's very small protozoa. Like the giardia cyst is, and that's one of the things that you're probably most at risk of. You know, the beaver fever. That's actually pretty impressive.
That's drinking wild water right through the trail one for a $20
especially
filter.
For the price that they're offering this for. I mean,
the filter itself is $20 for refills, but you can buy the regular trail rated one for $59 for the regular trail filter, $70 if you want a stainless one. I mean, that's killer.
You can't.
You can buy one and use different filters too. Yeah, if you look
here, looking at an MSR pump to basically to fill like reservoirs, so you don't carry the water in, you pump it into the bag.
Yeah, you can do the same thing with this.
Yeah, but you could technically do the same thing with this and just dump and go. I mean, but that's like $170 versus a $60 piece of gear that would get you potable water now.
Right now, yeah, exactly. And you can get one setup and buy different filters, so you don't have to buy a whole new setup every time you want to go somewhere. If you're going to, if you're traveling to Guadalajara or you're going to go through Montezuma's Revenge, get you a travel purifier. Oh, and by the way, when you're in places like that, don't drink with ice, jackasses. Where do you think you're getting all them little critters from? The ice is made from the local water. Duh. Anyhow. Check it out at thegrail.com because I'm ordering one like immediately. This needs to come into my life right now.
Yeah, this is definitely something that everybody should have in
if you're out walking around in the woods,
in their bag.
Get one of these. Even if you carry it around empty for emergency water, there is no better thing that I have seen on the market. Those little pumps are great, but they're a pain in the ass because I watched Robert Leiterman out there at Bluff Creek try to fill up 4 tiny water bottles with that thing, and it took like 40 minutes.
Yeah, so, if this is truly like saying that it's going to get 99% of like even like the small protozoan cysts like giardia, that's amazing. So definitely something for the squatching kits. I wish we got paid for this shit. Come on.
One of these days, I'm going to help Jevin get a camping podcast going, and he's going to get paid to review these things, and he can send us his leftovers.
There you go.
All right, see, it all comes back to
the remains.
That's right. We'll take the remains that you don't want, mister. Yeah, we're going to get that stuff going. Hey, I'm going to claim victory. Yee-ha, because we were the only ones that really seemed to be on top of this crap. William Allen Barnes' campaign for GoFundMe has been dismissed and gone. He took it down. Why did he take it down? Because it's crap, and he doesn't deserve it, and nobody should fund him for anything, not even a Happy Meal.
Happy Meal? No, maybe a Happy Meal.
No, not even a Happy Meal. He can have like a McDouble with no fries and some water.
You get the sad meal.
That's right. You get the sad meal. You get no fries and no Coke. You can just have a McDouble and some water.
What flavor milkshake do you want? Sorrow.
That's right. I told somebody that it tasted like rape and restitution. I don't know why I said that, but it's just like, wow, that's pretty bad. Wow. They were like, "What movie is that from?" I'm like, "No, I just said that."
That
like,
just came out, and I apologize.
That should be a movie somewhere, absolutely. So, hey, the Falcon Project failed because of William Allen Barnes. Plain and simple. So, asking for $65,000 from hardworking people so that he can fail again is not in anybody's cards. Thank goodness it's gone. But trust me, that little snake's head will rear again, and when it does, we'll be there to hit it with a shoe. Right here on the Squatchers Lounge podcast. All right, guess what time it is, people? It is time to get your quasi on. That's right, people. We got a little bit of quasi going on in season 4, and we skipped it last week, but Dean was back feeling better with us this week, so we're going to get our quasi on right here in a moment, because I didn't pull it into the box, and I'm stalling for about 10 seconds while I do. All right, people. Thanks.
Stand by.
And now,
Quasi Theories from a Quasi Scientist with your host, Dean Cooper.
The Junk Room, Part 1. Back in the mid-1960s, my family lived in a house that we knew was haunted. It was an old farmhouse in the middle of town, built sometime before 1900. There were 2 floors, a basement, and an attic. There were 5 of us siblings. 3 of us slept in first-floor rooms. The second floor had 2 bedrooms, one large, where one of my brothers and I slept, and a very small one, which we called the junk room. There were 5 of us siblings, and we never threw out any toys. They were kept in the junk room. When indoors, we frequently played in the large bedroom. We occasionally heard footsteps in the attic at night, pacing from one end of the house to the other. We would then rapidly adjourn down the stairs to the living room, where our parents would declare us to be, and I quote, nuts. This happened a number of times. We lost count of the total. One day, we were ordered to clean up the junk room and sort all the toys into new cardboard boxes. I say new boxes, but they were obtained from the alley behind the Main Street stores. The cleanup was accomplished rapidly, which was understandable if you know our mother. The room was very tidy. Our mother was pleased. Here's a side note on the junk room. It was always cooler than the rest of the house, except for the basement. We would not go into the junk room at night alone. The closet was terrifying. Its door would not stay closed but never swung open while anyone was in the room. The junk room door had a separate lock on the outside of the door. It appeared to be original to the house. We kids kept that door locked when we were not in the room. We often wondered why that door needed a lock on the outside. One night, a few days later, my older brother and my sister were playing sorry in the large bedroom. They suddenly came screaming down the stairs into the living room, claiming that someone was in the junk room, trashing it. My dad grabbed a baseball bat and went up the stairs with the rest of the family a reasonable distance behind. The junk room door was still locked. He opened it up, turned the light on, and declared that, and I quote, "You 2 kids are full of shit. There's no one in here and the windows are closed and locked." He continued, "Weren't you kids supposed to clean this place up? We got you new boxes." The room was trashed. Toys were everywhere, but not broken. The boxes were empty and half ruined. The closet door was ominously open. Our mother did not say a word in our defense. She said she didn't believe in ghosts. A good 20 years later, she admitted that she thought the house was haunted too. Next week's episode will be titled The Junk Room Part 2, The Ghostly Doggy. You may read the text of this on my blog at bydean.com. That's BHAIDIN.com.
There you go. Got a little plug before you go on Smoking Sounds podcast. Next, we've got camping tips for stupids, thanks to the life and times of JCM.
Camping tips for stupids. Tip number 5. Campfires are a great way to enjoy your evenings and nights out in the great, wonderful, and beautiful in the day, but scary as shit at night outdoors. There are hundreds of ways to make them, start them, and cook with them. But there are only a few proper ways to extinguish a campfire. And unless you want to be a card-carrying member of the Stupid Club, you should follow these simple tips. 1. If you choose to sit and watch your campfire burn itself out, be sure to watch the color of the ash and embers turn from black to white, and also the smoke too. And be sure to stir it around frequently, and even gently blow on it to feed it more air so the fuel in it burns up faster. Number 2, if you need to put it out quickly, always have a good container of water. Never use oils such as olive oil, vegetable oil, or anything of that sort. Those stuff are actually flammable to a certain extent. Always use water. Pour it in a spiral pattern starting from the center outward, and then stir it with a green stick and turn the embers around. Make sure you lose heat in them, and also the colors turn white again. 3. If you're hiking off trail or will never use that campfire ever again, be sure to scrape topsoil over it and pack it down. This will ensure no remaining hot embers
will blow around or such and start a possible wildfire. Number 4. Now this is important, stupids. Never, ever try to smother your campfire out with dumb shit like empty kegs or propane bottles or even your ex-girlfriend. Seriously. They will explode. If they're under pressure, there's no escape for the building gases, they will explode. And this also goes for lighters too. So nothing flammable, nothing that will possibly explode. You got that? And always remember, like the great protector Cotardin says, "You've got to stop that wildfire. Now look at me." This has been Camping Tips for Stupids, and may the Squatch be with you.
Well done. Well
Nice.
done. Oh, that's what we're talking about. That's right. The life and times of JCM or Jevin Moore out there. It's time to give some shout outs from the lounge. Let's see who's hanging out in the chat room tonight. Of course, we've got the life and times of JCM, our Jesus Christ of Monterey Bay. That's right. Jevin Moore himself. Mr. Dean Cooper, our quasi-scientist, is checking in as well. Rod Dupree, I'm sure, brother, hanging out with the lounge. Dick Jones, I know it's not your real name. I can't remember your real name. I think you're another Moore, and it's close to even Jevin, but whatever. You're hanging out there as well. Mr. Dick Jones, I said Dick Jones. Zachary Ekiel, I think I said that right. Sensei Bo, how you doing out there, Mr. Miyagi? So glad to have you, sir. He is in the house this evening. He is a master of the Shinkan Dojo, if I'm not mistaken. I probably said that wrong. Anyhow, let's see who else is out there. Big boy, God, dude, what? Would you like to buy a consonant? I can't pronounce that. Anyhow, how you doing out there? Carl Platz is checking in. Dick Jones again. There's another guy. He's like BIGBAOIOOGS. Buy some more consonants, dude. I'm sure you can afford them. 68 JJK. You're calling other people stupid, dude. Listen to yourself. What? You fighting? Are the trolls out tonight? Is that what's happening? Dude, y'all have my permission to go full cunt on them. Just straight up. Just, go Richard Allen on them and everything will be good. Star Kiss. XX Star Kiss XX. Hello. Glad you caught us live tonight. I think we're getting to the end of the people that are out there. Mark Gentile, not Mark Jewish, Mark Gentile has joined us out there in La La Land as well. Then that looks like it wraps it up for the shout outs from the lounge. Thanks for joining us live tonight, people. And don't be trolling in my chat or I'll just block you on YouTube. You don't get to watch the show at all. That's the way that shit works, people. I can do that because I have the power. Okay, on to tonight's topic, boy. We're going to be talking about the Sisamite, the Honduras Bigfoot, because we can't really talk about Mexico Bigfoot because, well, Mexico is a desert. It doesn't make any sense. But the Sisamite, or Sisamito, El Dunde, Duendes, and hair-covered life forms in Central America. Coming from BigfootEncounters.com, primarily seen in Guatemala, the Sisamite is equally well known in Belize, formerly British Honduras, and other parts of the southern Mexico's tropical forests. That's right. That's where the tropical part ends. It's in southern Mexico. The Sisamite, or guardian of the forest, is best described as a large, hairy gorilla with a head much like a human. It has no verbal communication that is known, and according to reports, is a rather malevolent or evil primate. Oh, evil, bad, skunk ape. Unlike Sasquatch, but similar to the mythical African gorilla of old, mythical gorilla of old? Well, anyhow, we'll get back to that. Who would kill humans of the same sex and abduct and rape those of the opposite sex, which is not unlike current behavior patterns of one of the orangutan males of the Tanjung Puting Reserve in Indonesia, Borneo, where the lady cook for Butte, I can't pronounce that last name either, was unceremoniously raped on a banana tree stand during feeding. Oh, dude, could you imagine? Because you ain't getting away from that. If Sing Sing decided it's ding ding time, lady, guess what? It's ding ding time, and there ain't a whole lot your skinny ass broad's gonna be able to do about it.
One of the interesting things about orangutans that is a good segue into this specifically is that when they're ready, like because they're so solitary, and I brought this up earlier, they will actually like they use their powerful hands and they grab the lady until basically they just give up and go for it.
Yeah,
like,
just like,
there's no lot of courtship. It's just they hold on until okay, there's only one way I'm getting out of this.
That's right. It's ding ding time, bitch, and you are my ding ding queen.
Yep. And you know, I'm willing to actually hold on to your wrist for days.
Right. If I have to, I will dangle your ass off the food platform.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's kind of like that guy. Like I brought you roses. I brought you chocolates. I brought you. I just you.
Bitch, I paid your Lexus bill for 6 months.
You got to give up at some point. If you're a human, but not an orangutan. Just yeah. So
get out. Get out of the house.
Maybe the person knew like, hey, there's only one way I'm getting out of this.
I don't know, man. Well, there was probably no one around to rescue her, and that's the when you're dealing with large, dangerous primates. Shit like this will happen. The Sisamito, according to folklore, is said to have 4 fingers and no thumbs. Doesn't that suck? And sometimes his feet are said to point backwards. That's right. We've seen this on Finding Bigfoot. 2 anatomical oddities that are also attributed to their much smaller and very rare Elunde in parts of Belize. Both creatures are believed to live in the caves deep in the high bush country, which is Belizean term for virgin montane tropical forest, sunborn. It may even be the oft-mentioned mystery primate reported in and around the mouth of the Orinoco River in Venezuela and Guiana Highlands, South America. Historically speaking, Richard Oglesby March wrote in Wild Indians of Darien that a man told him that in 1920 he had killed a human-like creature in Central America. Also, in Buckskin Joe, Edward Jonathan Hoyt reported an encounter he had in 1898 in Honduras. A large ape-like creature about 5 feet tall crawled over the end of his bunk. Hoyt killed the animal, which resembled a human. It was reported by John Green in 1978 on page 133. That's just creepy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That 5 foot Bigfoot thing climbing over the end of my bed, I'm gutting it. Like if I'm in my hammock, I'm out, I'm footing from my hammock, like happens a lot. 5 foot thing comes walking up on me in my hammock close enough to get stabbed. It's getting stabbed. Just get stabbed. What are you coming this close to me for? You obviously want something that I don't want to give you. So just like don't come play pranks on me and draw on my face while I'm sleeping because you'll get stabbed. Bigfoot didn't get stabbed if he gets that close to me in my hammock because I can't scramble out of that thing. I got to think about an escape route. I really, really do. Let's get this finished up here. Geologist Wendell Skozen said the people of Cubulco, Cubulco in Baja Verapaz, and I took Spanish for years. Jesus. There lives in the mountains very big wild men, completely clothed in short, thick, brown, hairy fur. Are they clothed in it, or is it growing from them? I'm not sure. With no necks.
Apparently, they're not sure either.
Right. Small eyes, long arms, and huge hands. They leave footprints twice the length of a man's. Several persons said that the Sisamite had chased them down mountainsides. Skousen thought the creatures, which he indicated traveled on 2 legs and sometimes on 4, might have been bears. However, upon questioning the natives carefully, he wrote, it looked like a bear, but it wasn't from the description that they gave. No conspicuous snout or ears. Sanderson, page 61 through 1961, page 159. That's right. That's Sanderson, weird guy. One more, and we're out. Finally, more recently in 1992, Mark Sanborn conducted valuable bibliographic research at the National Archives in Belmopan, which is Belize's tiny inland capital. The most interesting article he found was by an anthropologist, Michael Howard, in 1974, from the Religious Beliefs and Lore of Regarding the Jungle, National Studies, Volume 3, blah, blah, blah. Howard notes that The Quechua Maya of South Belize, Toledo District recognized three main classes of forest denizens. First were the major deities led by something I can't pronounce, a sky, earth, water, forest god, and next a class of lesser local spirits of personified beings. Finally, there are various animals which are often considered to be in a close relationship with these gods, such as the Sisimo or Sisimito, and more average animals like the mountain cow, the tiger. Thus, the Sisimite is clearly viewed as a rare animal and not some kind of supernatural being. Similar creatures are reported in Guatemala, where it has been said that they kidnap women and children. There you go. So that's really the in-depth details of what the Sisimo, Sisimito, El Duende, the Duendes, the hair-covered life forms in Central America. David's going to take us on a ride and show us where the hell all this happens.
On a free ride. So,
Free ride.
The interesting thing to me about this whole area, like the idea of a Central American Bigfoot versus a South American Bigfoot. And interesting that they brought the backwards feet, because that's a South American thing. Is the difficulty with which an ape, to get an ape down here into South America. We already talked about that, because of this vast dry region right here. It's possible, but more likely, from this eastern board, obviously. But if you actually look at areas like Belize and Guatemala, and like if you think of like Honduras, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, like these areas that people go and do, you can do amazing rainforest tours in a lot of these areas, in Belize and in these areas, and there are mountains here. So there's a lot of possibilities in Central America where there wouldn't be before. But in geological terms, these are contemporary areas, because based on rise and fall in sea level, these were islands before. This whole Panama Isthmus, this is not something that's been here for like millions and millions of years, right? And
the last ice age didn't go that far south.
Well, but
so they didn't travel that way either.
However, the last ice age would have increased this landmass and decreased it, but the prior warm times would have covered it completely. I mean, so what you see here is the continental, a lot of shelving that, the water goes up and down and yada yada yada. So the mountains that are here are not tall. They're not, they're not.
You can literally see where this stuff has been dragged around by the plates.
It's crazy and it's amazing. But these are areas of subluxation that are mostly underwater versus the Rockies and the Cascades and the Andes and all these things that are like way, super mountain ranges. Here we do have mountainous territory. We do have lots of hilly territory, and is similar to Ghana and areas where we have these mountain gorillas and things. So an interesting idea is to look at areas like Belize and Costa Rica, and they talked about Honduras a lot, this is actually a pretty great area to have primates. Case in point, the old world monkeys that do live in this area throughout. Right. I actually, on my bucket list is a trip to Costa Rica to do the rainforest upper canopy tour. There's places you can actually stay in the air on boardwalks and in bunks in the canopy for days on end and just hang out in the canopy in Costa Rica. Yeah, the great, I think
it would take a little bit to get used to that, but I think I could be down for something like that.
Yeah, I mean it's slow living, right?
That's a fact.
Be one with the sloth. But anyway, but this is a great area that it has primates, it has howler monkeys, it has I'm not sure if there's full-on spider monkeys, but there a good amount of primates that live here. There's a lot of, I mean, it is harsh rainforest, but that seems easier to get along with if you're a large primate than even the Pacific Northwest.
Look, the billy apes are in hard rainforest. They're getting along just fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons that I can foresee this could very well be just a large primate being misidentified and unclassified to this date.
Well, I talked about the Mexican Bigfoot because we've had some reports of Mexican Bigfoot from here, there, and everywhere. I just don't, having been to Mexico inland once in my life, I don't care to do that again.
Maybe south of Texas, maybe, that's about, if it wandered for a really, really, really long time and it was one creature that was just crazy and, like Finding friggin' Nemo, maybe.
Coastal, like Gulf of Mexico, possibly, because you do get into like the lush areas and down here, and Texas is East Texas is supposedly a hotbed of activity, yada yada yada.
Are they building canoes and like taking them themselves? I don't know.
But there's this whole like cutoff point here, and these are important things when looking at migration all the time. It's something we can look at right now, and that's been this way a long time. There's the Sonoran Desert is not an easy pass, for something on foot that needs probably a lot of water, doesn't have our amenities for carrying water with them, and can't. Apes don't live in the desert. Just put it that way. They just don't. We do, because we're ingenious and we come up with ways of doing that. But yeah, I mean, the Chihuahuan Desert, like the Sierra Madre Mountains. I mean, this is not areas where I would expect to see an ape at all. At all.
Yeah, no, definitely no Mexican. I mean, the Butchie Kid, had the best Bigfoot jump in the south of the border, but the southern Mexico border, that's a completely different place.
Absolutely. And again, we are always looking for like potential migrations. If you're thinking that there are East Texas Bigfoot, there's Mississippi. If you're looking up in Tennessee in the Smokies, if you think that there's skunk ape action down up into the Mississippi, like this is your obvious
corridor,
your corridor, and probably isn't open all the time and hasn't been open probably for a long time, and so you're looking at something that's been cut off from this population, just like this population. You see the drying portion here has been cut off from this population for a long time. Are you talking about different variants? And
see, and that's the other thing is, and stay at that view for just a moment. If you look though, the Bigfoot of the East would be the same Bigfoot of the West because they all came from the North.
Because in most theories, they came from the East. And
we know that and not so much from South China where Gigantopithecus came from, but we've also talked about dozens or half a dozen other Bigfoot that are closer than the Eastern Chinese Bigfoot is.
Yep. And so like we've talked about, that green belt that goes all the way around the top.
So the land bridge is still in play. It just doesn't have anything to do with Gigantopithecus. And that's what David and I have always said since the beginning of our podcast, is that, it very well could have come from that part of the world and flushed from everywhere else. So if it flushed from the north, the Eastern Bigfoot are still the same Bigfoot, and you still have the same corridor that go down into Belize.
And so, a sad thing, like if you look at the view that we're looking at right now is and how lush and green this area looks.
We used to look just like that.
This whole side of, everything east of the Mississippi used to look like that. And all the way down through here would be absolutely the same. Not the same. It's different. There's different climates, different plants, different everything. But the vast forests, 400 years ago would have been exactly the same as these dark green areas, and these desert areas would have been the same as the desert areas that are shown right now. We didn't do that.
The drought is so bad going on right now. That's probably a picture from last year, so it looks even worse than it is now. But man, I mean, we're not even pissing out Florida right now. Do you see that? I mean, we're literally not going to the bathroom because we have no water to waste.
So, yeah. Anyway, what we have going on right here is this interesting idea that so Mexican Bigfoot proper, maybe not, but yes, because they have to get down there somehow. So the southern Mexican Bigfoot and through the Central American Bigfoot, if they're in Florida, they're probably in Belize. And that's interesting concepts, and it's fun to think about this and fun to look at the stories because it's close to home and it shows a natural potential for things. So it's good. It's good.
Yeah. There's always that if and what. They would be a cutoff population, which would make them become something other than what everything else became. That's what cutoff populations do. That's why we have the hobbits. The Homo floresiensis were Homo sapiens at one point and got stuck on that island with everything else that became dwarves. So did they.
Exactly.
So the Bigfoot, maybe the backwards feet is just a way of, maybe they hide their tracks and they just walk around so much you can't really tell in which direction they're going. So the local natives who, probably have the IQ of Gump -5 go, oh, backwards feet. The no thumbs thing is just creepy. I mean, what would you do with fingers with no thumbs? The
interesting thing it would be
you'd have to use both hands for everything. You'd have to use both hands for everything.
But like no thumbs is probably not true because if they're primates, they're going to have 5 digits. But a diminutive thumb, something that's not fully noticeable, like that's something that would be an interesting.
Yeah, some of the primates have really weird friggin', foreskin thumbs. I mean,
not really necessary for a lot of things. Gorillas have very, very small thumbs.
Yeah, for their long fingers, they do.
And so interesting that could be just a potential trait in that area. I mean, it could be just a recessive gene. It could be all sorts of things. But interesting. But the backwards feet, their feet probably aren't going backwards. But there was when we were talking about the. What was I'm forgetting the name of the South American Bigfoot that we had talked about. Anyway, when we were talking about them and the backwards facing feet, talking about curled over toes of potentially the giant ground sloth or something like that, or curled over toes of all sorts of other things. Like, could we be talking about with 4 toes and no thumb? Could we also be talking about a relic population? Not contemporary, but even legendary relic population of a giant ground sloth. Interesting to think about because this is an area where we have sloths that do have 3 and 4 toes and do look as if they're walking backwards. Their toes point backwards because they're the way that they grasp with their large, long fingers, nails, whatever you want to call them. So it definitely interesting. Wouldn't have a snout to speak of, not ears like a bear, but covered in hair. Very, very interesting idea. Were people seeing a giant ground sloth in Central America with enough in a contemporary enough sense to where that legend still survives?
Well, there you go. Could be Sasquatch,
which is what we were thinking for South America. So it could be
Sasquatch. Could very well still be Sasquatch. So carrying right along the lines. I'm glad you remember this crap.
Yeah, so like I'm okay with it being cryptid B for me. Like cryptid is a cryptid, and that's cool because we get to
That
open
means
our
another
eyes and our
cryptid's gonna
minds
be-
to something else and go looking for it.
Now we may be looking for Sasquatch. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for the Sisamito of the Central Americans. Let's give out the last shout-outs out to the lounge, to the people out there in live chat. Dave Stump made it late, but he finally made it, and that's what is important. I saw a couple other people. Mr. Yeti checking in. Let's see, there was a couple of other ones I saw coming down in here. Karen McCann, how you doing? Right back at you from the lounge there, sweetheart. Thanks for checking in. Let's see here. I think there might be one or two that I might have missed. And if I did, get here earlier when I do the actual shout outs. That way I don't forget anybody. Dick Jones. That's right. I just like saying that name. Dick Jones. Jesus Christ of Monterey Bay. Thanks for this. Oh, there it is. Dennis Perez says these creatures exist in Guatemala as well. Well, we just were talking about that. So, yes, indeed, they do. Symbios Modeste. Hi.
Hi.
Best I can do for you, buddy. Not a linguist, I guess. Too bad. And Obsidian Radio is just finally checking in. That looks like the end of it. Hello, everybody, and actually, good night. We want to thank everybody for watching. Dr. David, we're just talking. What are we going to do next week? We're going to do the Yahoo of West
Not
Virginia.
the Yowie.
Nope, not the Yowie, but the Yahoo of
Is
West
there a
Virginia
woohoo?
in the Bigfoot Around America series. So that's what we're going to be talking about next week. The Yahoo! That's right. You've seen it featured in Mountain Monsters. Well, Reverend Jeff and Dr. David are going to give you the lowdown on the bullshit. That's right.
It's a bunch of yahoos.
It's a bunch of yahoos, but damn it, we love it, and it's fun all the way around. And that's what podcasts are about. Watch us Monday night as we do Bigfoot Entertainment Weekly. Holy crap, we're doing a Yeti movie this week. We forgot all about the Yeti movies. God, there's a bunch of freaking crap load of those. So we've got content for friggin' months, people. Don't worry about it. I can't remember which one, but I'll post it up. It's a campy one, so it'll be fun. And check out the new series, Monster Info. That's right. I'm going through the monsters and I'm finding details on them like we did with the Sisamito tonight. I'll do one of those on those probably tomorrow, and we'll get all of the details going. So check it out on our channel in the playlist area, Monster Info. Episode 1 was the Grassman. Episode 2 was Chessie, the sea serpent from the Chesapeake Bay area. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a little bit of 4 minutes of fun. I'm pretty sure that's the way it goes. For Dr. David Batdorf, Esquire, that's right. I'm the Reverend Jeff. We say thanks for watching, and may the Squatch be with you. Ball. And thanks. We're out.